Hello everyone, I'm a film major who never watches any film, so I decided to watch a new film every single day. And today I watched the latest Amazon Prime release film called Jolt. And I knew nothing about this, apparently it just came out today. It was just advertised on my Fire Stick, and I was like, sure, fuck it, why not? Anyways, I saw it had a Rotten Tomato and IMDb score of like 5 and 50%, which is not a good sign. Usually that means it's around a 2 or a 3, and that's probably what I think it's gonna be. But, I ended up watching it anyways, and yeah, it was not very good. You could just tell it was no good from the very beginning, where it's talking about this girl who that's the main story is about, or I guess this woman. She's like in her 30s or 40s in this series. So, or I say series, but in this movie, I guess. But it starts off with her as a little girl, and it's saying how she has this disorder to have a violent outburst. You know, she was not able to be controlled in classrooms, and then her mom was addicted to pills, and her dad was a drunk, so she was never taken care of, or else this disorder could have been taken care of before it developed into anything worse. That's the framework that they set up. It sounds like a very bad way to look at disorders, and to say that like she has no way of like really controlling it. I don't know. It's just very weird. There's no medication that helps, apparently. So, I don't know. It was just a very weird way to say that she has a disorder. I don't know. I would have probably said something like a birth defect. So she has like a tumor in her brain, or her brain's wired in a different way, and so she has like these outbursts that she can control. I wouldn't say it's a disorder though. I feel like saying a disorder is kind of, I don't know. It feels like the wrong term to me. Maybe that's just me reading too much into it, but watching this opening sequence, I was very uncomfortable with the way that they were describing this disorder and everything. That's just the first thing I wanted to get out of the way. But anyways, she's dealing with this disorder. She has this bodysuit on underneath her clothes, where she can press a button, and it's basically a dog collar zap for her. So anytime she gets worked up or irritated, and she feels like she's about to burst out and, you know, become violent or kill somebody or do something she wouldn't want to do, she can just zoop, zap herself, and those feelings just go away because she's focused on the pain instead or something. I don't know. I kind of feel like it would have been like a Hulk approach, where like, you know, you damage him and he gets angrier, so he gets stronger. But no, this has the reverse effect. When she gets damaged and like gets shocked, I guess it calms her down, which is, I don't know if it like immobilizes her or whatever, but yeah, that's what happens. So she is trying to live out her life in a normal way. She has her therapist that she goes to, who always has a gun on him just in case in case she has a violent outburst against him and he needs to cause action or something. But it never comes to that. He just has this suit for her, and anytime she feels like she's gonna outburst, she shocks herself. So it's completely on the patient to control themselves in every way. There's no sort of control or anything. So yeah, it's completely onto her. Anyways, she's trying to live out her normal life, and she starts going into the dating world. She starts dating, and she falls in love with this guy right on the first date. Something about him is just very soothing and very calming to her. She's even able to have sex with him without the bodysuit on, and he doesn't seem to mind the whole bodysuit thing. So she is able to find some solace and some peace in him, whereas something like a pen rattling in someone's hand or clicking would irritate her to the point of becoming violent. Just being with him kind of neuters some of those feelings and calms her down. So that's an interesting thing. But he actually ends up dying in the film. And so the whole thing is just a revenge story for her going after this big mob boss that got him killed because he was an accountant for a mobster. So that's the whole setup for it, and it does not do a very great job. There's a weird romance with her and a police officer. Police officer is just all... I wrote something... Did I write something down about how creepy it was? But it was definitely creepy. Let me see what I have written down here. Oh yeah, there's some continuity errors, like one like someone's punched and you see him fall over with a hat on, but then when he's laying on the floor, the hat's off or whatever. So I saw like 2 or 3 of those. Let's see. Oh yeah, the whole show just feels so weird. Like, it really feels like you're in a set. It really feels like everything's a green screen. All the rooms are like boxed. There's not like furniture in any room. There's nothing on the walls that make these places seem lived in. It's just boxes. And so that's very strange. It just seems across as like lazy set design. And I'm sure they want it like future post-apocalyptic kind of thing. But usually with those kind of things, there's just shit everywhere, right? Because there's destruction, people are hoarding what they can, there's just stuff everywhere. But in this, it's just everything is clean. Well, everything is dirty, but there's nothing in there. And so it just feels like empty boxes. Each set is an empty box. And it's just not fun to watch when, you know, people don't interact with their environment at all. People don't interact with other people in the same room, in the same shot normally. There was one time where there's like a karate fight down that was actually pretty okay. It was nothing amazing. There was like even times where like someone would like go into like knee another person's stomach and it didn't even hit. Like you could see it plain as day. So yeah, very, very goofy, but unintentionally. But there were some like prolonged shots and people rolling over each other, so it wasn't completely just all like quick shots or horrible CGI. There was some really horrible effects. There was like some blood splatter effects that just look straight off like Google Images, you know, blood splatter PNG drop, and it just, oh, it was really bad. Yeah, later she escapes from the police and she blows up her apartment for no reason. It just kind of seems like there's a lot of, and then, you know, and then she escapes from the police, and then she blows up her apartment, and then she finds the mob boss, and then she climbs up the side of the tower, this 60-foot tower. She somehow climbs up, she shimmies up a pole, and the bad guy is standing at the top pointing a gun at her, but instead of shooting her, pushing her off the building, he helps her up, brings her inside, and then bonks her in the back of the head with the gun, and then he tries to drain her blood. Like, bro, you could have just shot her when you saw her shimmying up the side of your building. Like, I don't know. It was just such a frustrating movie for me to watch. And I'm not trying to, like, rag on it so much. But it just really, there was not, like, very many redeeming things to it. It had a twist ending at the end, but most people can see where it's coming from. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to give this one a 2. I want to be charitable and give it a 3, but as I'm just thinking about it, just from the disorder at the beginning to the boxy sets to the lackluster animations to the so-so acting to the infuriating story, yeah, that's a 2.